All right, happy Thursday, everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a good week. The week is almost here. The week is almost over. The weekend is almost upon us, and we're gonna have some fun, hopefully. The week went by kind of quick, in my opinion. You know, it's like it's already Thursday, almost Friday. It's kind of crazy, right? But let's talk about some gaming real quick. I want to talk about Nintendo, Xbox, and a little bit of PlayStation real quick. So let's try to get it out of the way. First and foremost, Nintendo Direct was just live earlier today, and I like what I saw. I mean, let me tell you guys something, like seriously, Nintendo just continue to get it right. You know what I mean? I mean, when you look at what they're trying to do, they're pushing the Switch still because they know it's a big, you know, user base there. And then they're telling you, you know, in a few days, what is it, on the 2nd, they're going to be talking about the Switch 2. So, I mean, they're just pushing it out like it's nothing, you know? And that's going to be really cool to see how they balance this. But nevertheless, you look at some of the games that was on there, like I said, they continue to get it right because most of those games on there was not for me, but I can see, like, for other users, like children, adolescents, teens, you know, they've always been catering to that, and they got something for the adults. Like, for instance, I love what I saw with Metroid Prime 4. I thought that was a beautiful thing to see. I'm definitely going to get into that. They had it was another game that I saw. It started off with it, Dragon Quest 1 and 2, HD. I think it's a 2D version HD. I'm definitely gonna pick that up. I'm still waiting for them to remake Dragon Quest 8, but we don't know how that's gonna go. Hopefully they do that at some time. I think they're gonna do that at some point. They're doing all the other Dragon Quests, and I know why, because, you know, a lot of that stuff wasn't localized here, and they're just trying to bring it over. But Dragon Quest 8 definitely need to be a thing. You know, that needs to be a thing on current consoles. But nevertheless, that was cool. Another thing that caught my eye was the Gradius collection. Gradius, and that is a game that's going to be definitely played in my rotation, that the entire collection. And they got that, Life Force, Salamander, even the new Salamander 3. That's going to be really awesome because, I mean, I love these games. I've been a big fan of the Gradius series, you know, the Darius series, all the shoot 'em ups. I'm a big fan of those. So definitely going to be looking at that. They have a beat 'em up that I saw that caught my eye as well. Was the Marvel, I think it's called Marvel Legion. I don't know what it is, but it's a great looking beat 'em up. But I'm definitely going to be getting that. And it may be out on other consoles. A couple of these games may be out on other consoles, but I can see a lot of this stuff coming out for the Switch and me playing this stuff for the Switch. And, you know, and I think that is really, really cool. Another game that I saw, it was a game that came right before the Gradius reveal, the Gradius collection reveal. It's like a 2D art style platformer. I can't remember that. It's like Eternal something. I can't remember the name of it. That caught my attention as well. Something I may, you know, play. And like I said, when I say they have stuff for the children, a lot of these games I can see my 6-year-old son playing. And this is why Nintendo continue to get it right every single time. I mean, whether it be the Pokemon stuff, the Everybody's Golf, because my son loves, like, the mini golf stuff, so I know he'll like that. Some of these other games that they put out, I'm pretty sure he'll be interested in to some degree. And he can balance it out by playing like a Metroid Prime 4, or he'll play like the beat 'em up of the Marvel game with me, you know. And like I said, they just continue to get it right. And last but not least, you know, they have the what's the thing called, the virtual card thing that they're going to be starting. That's going to be really important for me and my son because I have a Switch, he has a Switch, and we share games or whatever. I think that'd be really cool because a lot of digital games don't necessarily jump over to the other console as smoothly as you would like. It's like if one person signed in, the other one. It's kind of weird how it works with virtual or digital games. So I think that's gonna be really cool for me and my son, cause switch back and forth. Even though I'm more of a, you know, I like to buy the little SD cartridge games for myself. But hey, some games that he got that's digital, I wouldn't mind jumping over to play. But I think that's very fantastic how they got that going. That's gonna be up in the upcoming patch. So kudos to Nintendo. Once again, they get it right. They do a good thing. I love the way they're doing stuff. And like I said, the Nintendo Switch wasn't necessarily for me in the beginning, but I know I missed and whiffed on it. I'm not going to let that happen with the Switch 2. Definitely picking one of those up the day one, but it's probably going to be for my son. It's not going to be like mine, so you know how that goes. So I'll probably be using this OLED Switch while he plays the Switch 2, because I don't see myself buying 2 off the rip. I might. Nevertheless, let's talk about Sony and Microsoft. Now, I talked about this the other day. Sony, no, not Sony, but Microsoft, it was rumored or it leaked that the Steam client may be on the upcoming Xbox, or it could be a thing on the current Xbox console. And I thought that was pretty interesting how Xbox is trying to, implement Steam, and you can play your PC games on your Xbox Series. And I thought that was really cool. Now, Sony stepped in and said like, hey, look, listen, we got some games on Steam and we don't want our games over there on Xbox. Hey, you can bring Forza Horizon over. You can bring all your stuff over. That's a deal. That's a bet. But we don't have no deal for you to take our games that's on Steam and put them on your Xbox console. And to be honest, I understand where they're coming from, because if it's not written in stone, or if it's not something that's agreed upon, I could see how that could be an issue. But nevertheless, it may be in their best interest to probably do that. They just need to come up with an agreement, and they're already getting paid off of, Microsoft getting paid off Sony. I mean, money is just exchanging back and forth. They may need to come up with some type of deal to do something like this, because I don't see Sony actually implementing Steam on their platform and trying to make things happen through that way. I don't see Sony doing that on their upcoming PlayStation 6 or whatever. So just to get your game in more people's hands, you may want to do that. Now, I know some people with the console war thing will be like, no, you shouldn't do that. Sony need to keep their stuff. Well, Sony should have kept their stuff off Steam if they should have kept their stuff. The thing about it is money talks. And if Steam and Xbox come to Sony and be like, hey, look, it may not, some games may not, or all your games may not be over here, but you can pick and choose a few. We could come to a deal, or how much money it's going to cost, or this, that, and the third, because Sony is one of these type of companies that's trying to have their cake and eat it too. And I get it, it's a business. They want to, they have no problem putting Xbox stuff on their console. And I know Sony, and I know some people already said it, Sony's already given in the Xbox with the MLB The Show game, but that wasn't Sony's idea. That wasn't Sony's thing. Sony had kind of had no choice but to put it over there, or the MLB themselves were going to just strip the license from them and make it non-exclusive, and anybody and everybody could have made a game. So all of a sudden EA could have made a game again, and all these other companies could have made a game again. So Sony said it was in their best interest. Okay, we'll just put it on Nintendo. We'll put it on Microsoft. We'll do that. We'll play ball. So it's not as cut and dry as you think. The thing about it is nowadays, this is just the way the business is now. Unless if you're somebody like Nintendo that just don't give a damn about putting their games only on the Switch or only on their consoles, and they're not going to play nice with everybody, you're basically going to be missing out on some things when it comes to the Sony, Microsoft, and PC world. Nintendo's just doing their own thing, and that's what makes them so successful. I don't think you'll ever see a Mario game on PC. I don't think you'll ever see a Zelda, Metroid. I'll be extremely surprised if you see any Sony IPs on PC or any other platform. Maybe Microsoft. They may play ball with Microsoft. Then I don't see anybody else. But hey, you just never know. But I just don't see it. But Sony... And the thing about Sony, the reason why I say this is because Sony's already dipped their toe into the different platform situation. It's going to be very hard, and it may not even be good business sense to draw the line once you cross that line, because money is money. And once you cross that line to make that kind of money, consumers and other business partners are going to really expect you to continue to do this type of business unless everybody's losing money. So if Microsoft come up to them and be like, hey, we got this thing on Steam. We could put a couple of games on here. What do you say? We're going to do this. Hey, you already got your games on Steam, so let's not act like you don't want to do this. You just don't want it because we're somewhat of your competition. But then again, you got it on Steam, which is also your competition. So it's kind of like Sony's kind of, they probably painted themselves into a corner in some sense. Maybe they'll stand on business and be like, no, we ain't doing it. But at some point, you know, they're going to get an offer that they can't refuse. And that's the sad part about it. We all know it's going to happen, so people may not want to admit it, but at some point, they're going to get an offer that they can't refuse when it comes to stuff like this, especially if this Xbox and Steam thing takes off. One or two things are going to happen. One, they're going to put their games over there on the Xbox console via Steam, or they're going to try to put Steam on their next platform and on their next console. Either way, it's going to be a situation where the money's just going to talk. And if Sony's going to put Steam on their platform, now you're talking about other games getting over there to PlayStation. And then when you do that, then what you're gonna do? Like the Xbox games over there, I'm pretty sure they're gonna want the Xbox games on there if they was to go to Steam. But that's like 2 steps ahead of what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, they're gonna get an offer that they can't refuse. We all know this, and especially if it takes off. If they stand on business, I would be somewhat surprised. But they already dipped their toe in this by putting their games on Steam. At the end of the day, I understand what Sony's trying to do, but this whole competition thing is kind of like, let me be honest with you guys, it's kind of like out of the window. It's pretty much it's kind of like out of the window at this point. You know, I mean, Nintendo's not competing with them, and Xbox is not necessarily competing with PC, and the Xbox really not competing with Sony. So what Sony's doing? You know, and it kind of reminds me like somewhat like how the NBA is now. If you follow the NBA, like everybody's buddy, everybody's on this get money thing and not necessarily going at each other, which to me is kind of detrimental to the NBA. But maybe it is a little detrimental to gaming as well. Maybe we need that back and forth and that real competition. But don't seem like it's gonna happen anytime soon. It may turn around one day. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Nintendo knocked it out the park. Sony don't want their games on Xbox through Steam, and I don't know how far that's going to go. Something's going to have to give there, and Sony could be missing out on some money, even though they are winning the console race when it comes to sales. But is that really what it's about nowadays? I don't know. I don't think the console sales is really a thing anymore. Maybe it is. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it. Not like how it used to. All right, y'all. I'm about to get on this road. Y'all take it easy. Let me know what y'all think. All right, I'm out. Peace.